Niall, you described that as a low-key affair. A nice way to put it, I think.
Yeah, it obviously petered out as a contest last week in Turin, and the match tonight, I had a fear that Real Sociedad might get a hammering because United would have sensed and sniffed that there was goals in the air for them before the game. But you have to give great credit, I think, to Sociedad. The United players tried. He put a good team out, you know, the likes of Fernandes in there trying to probe. Now, they hit the bar and had a couple of chances, United, but I think the story of the game is Sociedad came and did themselves proud and rescued a bit of pride after a very poor performance last week. And United, look, they're in the next round of the competition. Chance for one or two players to shine. Martial, maybe it didn't happen for him. And all in all, it's just, yeah, low-key affair. We're in, get in the shower, come back in for training, and we'll go on from here. So just no fireworks, but all the same, good position for Manchester United to be in.
Did that match have any relevance on how United might perform, I suppose, going forward in the competition, or their chances of actually winning it?
I think winning the tie so convincingly, the first leg, was a boost to them, because La Liga has a reputation of being at times the top league in European football, although this year Sociedad's performance in the first match, performance of Barcelona against PSG, Real Madrid just about got the job done last night against the 10 men. Those type of results would suggest that La Liga isn't as strong as it was, but it was still a good victory against the type of opposition who could have given them more trouble had they played the way they did tonight. I think Manchester United have a very good chance to win this competition, but there are still good teams left in it.
OK, yeah, still a bit to go. Analysis and reaction from Brian and Niall coming up after the break. Do stay with straight into the analysis as well, Niall. And that disallowed goal, very disappointing for Tuanzebe, wasn't it? Yeah,
his first ever goal for United, and it was a bullet of a header, something to really admire. But when you see the ball coming in here now, you maybe at first sight you don't see the foul that Lindelof does on Gian Battista. But later on, you'll see that despite how well Tuanzebe did, it's a kamikaze-style attack. Have a look at Lindelof here, gets up and wallop, take that, Battista. And when the referee looked at it, he had no choice but to disallow the goal and book Lindelof. You'll see here, he can't get the ball. Neither player can, so it's a great shame, I think, that Lindelof did what he did, because I think it took from a very good goal. And
was it dangerous, Niall?
It was very dangerous. I mean, he's jumped really high, and I think, you know, the fact that it was going over his head, what also happened, which hurt Battista, he turned around to see was there something behind him, and of course he got the full impact then of the knee into the jaw, and he was down for a long time. It was a nasty incident, but you know, point back that neither of them were going to win the ball. It was well over both of them, and that was a great shame. You called yellow straight away when you saw it, so that's yellow, yeah. But you never thought red at any stage? No, I didn't. I think it was exuberance. As I said, he was desperate to get there. It was a huge leap, very athletic leap, but with his knee out like that, it's dangerous. I expected a yellow. I didn't think the ref would go all the way with red, but knew the goal would have to be disallowed. But don't take from the style and the power in the header. That was superb. Yeah, and United got some more chances as well, Brian. It wasn't just that the disallowed goal.
It did, yeah. Early on, they were dangerous. The first quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. Martial shook himself up a little bit. Good driven free kick here just outside the post. A little bit of... There was a bit more of a spark about them, I think, in the chase for the goal. Rashford was busy, Greenwood was busy. That was Greenwood's attempt. Here was Martial involved in a set-up play. But overall, you just got a sense they were going through the motions. Good skill again by Greenwood from the wrong side of the pitch. Here's Martial, picks her up, and you're saying, can you finish it off?
You were much more impressed with Martial in the second half, right?
Yeah, I would... I would think the manager at half-time said, look, I need a bit more from you. Or if he didn't say that, he wasn't doing his job, because he didn't do enough in the first half.
You think he got a few strong words to Jim Martial at half-time?
Oh, I don't know. Damien gave him a few strong words in the commentary. He wasn't happy with him. And he did get bundled off the ball a few times. Look, he has this ability, there's no doubt about that. We just don't see it all the time, and the top players, they just repeat it. They come out, their abilities show every game they play. With him, it's hit and miss, and unfortunately when he doesn't join in and doesn't look well, he looks lazy. And then it's kind of, you're saying, well, is his heart really in it? And you start looking at, and I don't think that's the way. I think he's a conscientious fella. I think he's just a little bit lost at times. You know, we were saying, you know, when Fernandes was doing things quickly in the first half, he was looking around and it wasn't involving him. But there were other players reading it better than him. So he needed a goal tonight. I was hoping he'd get one for himself, but it didn't happen. But listen, his team got through. I don't think his manager would be too cross with him.
Yeah, we cast our mind back to the first half then, Brian, and Sociedad could have gone ahead early on.
Well, they should have. They were much better than in the first game we saw them. More compact unit, played at a higher tempo, nice and busy in the midfield area. The attackers were the same three attackers. Alazbal on the left-hand side, Isaac through the middle, dangerous. Januzaj, former Manchester United player on the right-hand side. But they all looked a bit better. And then they got the big chance. They won a penalty kick, the foul by Daniel James in the left back position. Just one of the worst penalties you could possibly ever see. I mean,
he nearly makes up for it here with a great ball, Brian, doesn't he?
Yeah, Lindelof rescues it at the far post, so stops Isaac getting the touches. Garazabal, right back, gets forward, continues to run into the box, lets Januzaj play it in. Marino doesn't quite get to it. He was very good tonight in the middle of the pitch for them. Ball to the far post. And as it breaks here, there's a chance, real chance. It breaks out, centre half. Sanyal does well to get the header, hits the bar. But I think there was inevitability about it. Both teams felt the same. The fact that they took off the three front players
and the two leading goal scorers, would indicate to you that that's how Sociedad, they felt that the tie they'd given
was
up
done.
at that stage.
Well, they knew they weren't going to turn it round. I think they come out respectable, but they're looking ahead the weekend as well. They got Real Madrid in La Liga at the weekend, so they're protecting some of their key players just as much as Manchester United were.
We spoke at half-time about whether we didn't know whether or not the young lads would get on and get a chance. They did. We saw Diallo, we saw Shortire come on. Anyone put their hand up and say, look at me? Not
really. I was hoping one of them would get the whole thing with the scruff of the neck and have lots of chances, create, do things. But as Brian says, there was almost an inevitability about how this game was going to pan out. And ultimately, it did just that. It petered away and nothing there to say, oh, he was good, or we have to, you know, look at him. Got some useful minutes into other players as well, but, you know, I hope we see more of Shortire and players like that. Diallo, you know, he's come on twice now in this competition, and we just haven't seen the magic yet. You can see there's a bit of, you know, there's a dazzling effect in there somewhere, but no, we haven't seen it at the right stage yet.
So I want to quickly talk about Dean Henderson. He didn't have a lot to do tonight, but that debate has been rumbled on that I think he's made it known that if I'm not the number one over De Gea, I don't want to be here anymore. Does Ollie have a decision to make now in the next short while?
Well, I didn't know he said it like that, as clearly as that if I'm not going to be number one.
That was his agent, I think.
I'm sure that before he came back this season, that he got some sort of guarantees he was going to get a reasonable number of games. Maybe he was told he was going to play in this competition, at least. The goalkeeper, De Gea, hasn't had a great season so far. He's been mixed. He's had good games, poor games, a couple of bad goals given away in big matches recently, Manchester City. So I think that Henderson, he's not going to stick around if this goes on much longer, that he's not first choice. And I think what might make the thing easier for Manchester United is that other clubs will want them, because other clubs have goalkeeping problems.
OK, well, we'll have to wait and see.